Very good morning, students. Today we are going to see the measure of performance under estimation. So this is under model number 4. So input modeling. So we'll see the basic concept of measure of performance under estimation. So consider the estimation of a performance parameter theta or phi of a simulated system. It is designed to have a point estimate and an interval estimate of theta or phi. So the length of the interval estimate is a measure of the point estimate, and the simulation output data are the items called y1, y2, yn for estimating theta. So by using the theta or phi, we are going to find out the measure of performance under estimation. So now we will see the performance measure. So for estimating theta, we have to refer to such output data as discrete time data, because the index n is discrete valued. The simulation output or of the form y0 is equal to 0 to t is the range for that, and for estimating pi we refer to such output as a continuous time data. So one of the most important measure of TQM is to measure for success, and performance measurement is done to check whether an organization is achieving its objectives or not. So the objectives of an organization are manifold as follows, like achieving the business objectives and improving the response to the customer need and reduction of quality cost and improving competitive position and making more and more profits. So here what we have to understood is, so how we are going to achieve the business objectives. Like for example, if we are going to start a project, we have to find out the problem statement, and we need to find out the objective of that particular business, and from the problem statement what we have to improve, from that we have to see, so that and we can have the what if questions on that business process, and based on that what if question, this is the major advantage of improving our business and all. So improving response to the customer need. So first of all, we need to understand the customer requirements and resources. Based on that, we can give the improving of that particular response and all. So reduction of quality cost. So once here we have we have the projects and process. If it is the cost permitted, then we can reduce the cost as per the quality based. Like if it is worthful, then we can reduce the cost basis, so that we can improve the business process in time. So improving the competitive position. So once we can have a banner, we can have a bar for that, the competitive phenomena. When we see the competitive in the society based, first we have to see the things which is more demand in the society, so that we can improve the competitive position based on those parameters, making more and more profits. So by using all these steps, we can go for the performance measure. Now we can move. Why do we need to measure our performance? So we have to measure our performance based on what if questions or any comments based on our self descriptions, and so all these things. So to measure our performance, why means we have to because simulation output is sometimes inaccurate or inappropriate, so that we have to go for the measure of performance. So based on that parameters, we can improve our project. So here we can see the the most important external disruptions and strong competition. The importance of measuring increases just to survive and grow. So here we have some significant external disruptions over here, that is deregulation and privatization, industrial crisis and technological breakthroughs, all those things. So here we can have a strong competitive environment, that is there is a low and high category, and there is a phenomena for the particular environment. It is intensity of the competition and customer market changes and globalization and spread of information and consumerism and shift of power towards. So here what we have to understood is, we have an importance of measure. There is a most significant concept of improvement of performance of measurement. So like the things we can say is insurance group, banks and pharmaceutical groups and consumer products and industries and utility companies. Like, so these are the environment which we can improve the measure of performance, and if any interruptions or disruptions made in between this environment, we can go to this, and based on the parameters we can we can grow and we can survive based on this. So we have a low this thing, and then high statistical this thing. And what performance should we measure? we have to measure how we can measure the performance. So this is how we can performance our measure. Like we do have some kind of description, that is deregulation and privatization, industrial crisis and technological breakthrough. So based on this we can go for the measure of performance. So examples of measures we can say is production operations, the first thing, and then customer satisfaction, second thing, and third one is purchasing process, and fourth one is resource development. So these are some of the examples of measure of performance. So production operations in the sense like how much we can produce our things. So the operations in the sense in what time, at what exact time we can produce our provide our productions on time basis, we can say. And customer satisfaction, first of all we can once the project or once the business will start, so the second step we need to know actually from the customer needs. We have to analyze the customer needs and requirements. So based on that we can go for the customer side, we can provide their customer their proper needs. So from that we can get the customer satisfaction. So purchasing process, how we can purchase a process based on the quality of cost, we can say, and quality of product, and then the process which is right from the starting to the ending process. So we can purchase based on the quality of cost, and we can say, and then the final thing is resource development. So from these examples, how we can develop the resource. So if any thing is going to get missed out or mislead, because sometimes what will happen, based on some modeling techniques only we can go for these things, so that if any things is going to drop out, or if anything is going to is in gap thing, so we can make a resource to get improved. And how do we measure our performance? How we can measure our performance in the sense, we have to consider theta or phi to go for the measure of performance, and we have some range in between that. In between that range we can do the performance level to be cost effective. So the third one is we can go for the cost of quality. So how the products and process is to be in quality based, and the cost of quality is a sum of cost incurred by an organization in preventing the poor quality. So we can overcome the poor quality by giving the cost of quality, and there are essentially three types of quality cost. So one is preventive cost, another one is appraisal cost, and third one is the failure cost. So under this failure cost we have two things, one is internal failure cost and external failure cost. So based on this failure cost we can go for this process. Like in failure cost we have the appraisal cost and then preventive cost. So preventive, when we see this preventive cost, so based on the quality and then performance we can go for this. And appraisal in the sense, to overcome the poor quality we can get a proper incurred quality, and then so we can see these internal and external in the under the category of the failure cost. Now we can go for the balance scorecard. What is balance scorecard? So this is a management tool, and we can say it is a general tool that provides stakeholders with a comprehensive measure of how the organization is progressing towards the achievement of the strategic goals. So like we can say how we can go for this balance scorecard. First thing is finance and process and customers and L+D, we can say. So this is nothing but it's a strategic goals and strategic pyramid. So focus on four major perspectives. We can see this financial perspective, how the budget and the demands of these budgets have been balanced. The customer perspective, in the sense we can see the customer needs and requirements, and we have to improve the resources based on the customer thing, and we can we have to get a customer satisfaction. So these customer satisfaction, how it comes, we have to analyze the customer needs and requirements. And third one is we can say for the business process perspective. So how we can start the business, in the sense we have to go for the identification of problem first. So and then we have to compare that particular things with the existing one, and then we can find out the problems, and we get the resources and requirements based on that, and then we can go for this business process. And then learning and growth perspective. So the balance balanced scorecard is totally based on these things. And learning and growth, how it comes, like what we can say, learning and growth in the sense, if we have the in existing phenomena, if we have any problems, otherwise if we have any kind of sortings, then we can go for this what if questions. So if we go for the what if questions, then we can see the problems which is under the category, so that we can see the learning and growth perspective as it is. And now objectives, measures and targets and initiatives. So each perspective is of the balanced scorecard. It includes an objectives, measures of those objects, and we have a target value of those measures and initiatives. We have the major thing is what in target it says the specific target value for the measures, like for example 2% growth in net margin, 3% growth in net margin, or 5% growth in net margin. So like that we can go for fixing the targets. And measure the observable parameters that will be used to measure the progress towards reaching the objective. Like for example, we can say the objective of the profitable growth might be measured by growth in that net margin, and then we can go for objectives. So the major objective is to be achieved, for example profitable growth. So initiatives, so in initiatives we can have an action programs. This is to be initiated in order to meet the objective. How we can go for these objectives? Everything is based on the perspective of the balanced scorecard. Thank you.